absolutely rips. Oh. Handmade, right here in the UK, in my shop. Welcome to NAWFABZ. In this episode, I'm going to show you how easy it is to build a Mark 3.5 R32 style back box delete, and I'm also going to show you just how terrible the Rieger Diffuser fits. And the reason I know is because I fitted one before and it fit dreadful, and here we are again with another one going down that same road. So might do a little bit more in detail this time. I'll show you just what's involved to fit the Rieger Diffuser. So to install this diffuser, the first thing you'll need to do is you're going to need to cut your exhaust or remove it. In this instance we are cutting it as we are only doing a back box delete section for this car. Once you've cut the exhaust, this will allow you to place the new diffuser in place. But before we do that, we've got to remove the old diffuser. Now they are quite tight to remove. You might need two men for this. One man on the inside pushing the clip down while the other man is pulling the diffuser outwards. Don't be scared to be violent. You do have to use quite a lot of force to get these out of the bumper clips, but they do come out. Once that's all off, chuck it in a big pile on the floor and we're ready to start installing the Rieger Diffuser. Right, so first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to push it into the original clip holes. Now this doesn't clip in like a lot of aftermarket diffusers do. A lot of aftermarket ones will just click, 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 click back in like original, and that would be that done. Not on the Rieger one. On the Rieger one it gives you a load of brackets. Now from the last one I did, I remember one of them is a pain in the backside because you have to drill into the crash bar. And unless you've got some really, really good drill bits, you're going to probably end up doing what we did last time. I just spot welded into crash bar because I ain't got any drill bits good enough to drill through it. In case you weren't aware, crash bars are very, very difficult to drill. But we'll give it a go. I've got some better ones this time. We'll give it a go. But the reason you want to push it in there to start with is you want to mark where this one goes. The rest of them I'll show you where they go and the orientation they go. But this one, we have to mark it on the crash bar exactly where it needs to go. So that's why I've pushed it on there. I'm going to grab a pen and I'm gonna screw it into that bottom bit there, and it does line up into crash bar up here, and I'm gonna come up here with a paint pen and we're gonna put a mark on crash bar where we need to drill it. So you will need to do the same. So go in your bag of bits and just get a bolt and a nut. Now it does only go one way around. You've got shallower bend, deeper bend. The deeper bend goes to the bottom. So we're just gonna pop that screw in there. I'm just going to loosely screw this on finger tight. Don't need any tools just yet. Just going to loosely screw it on finger tight, and then what we're going to do is we're going to push it up to the crash bar like that, and we're just going to mark where we need to drill. Right, so paint it back to get anything in. What we'll probably have to do is draw the outside of it. Quite sure how good that is. Can't be bad, so we shall see. So now the diffuser will just pull straight back out because there's no clips on it, it just slots in. The diffuser itself does actually fit quite nice in the slits, it's just the mess about with the brackets. Right, there we go, you can see it is crude, but you can see I drew a line down either side of where I need to drill. So what I'll do is I'll just line that back up like that, and I'll just drill pretty much in the middle, close enough. All right, let's see if this drill bit's got what it takes. Oh, that one's drilling it. Oh. Right, remember what I said. They are very, very difficult to drill. You will not be drilling that with some Aldi or Lidl or Walmart drill bits. You need some good drill bits to drill through a crash bar. That is a HSS 6mm, and that was pretty much brand new. And it did go through. It did struggle towards the end, but it did go through. So yeah, remember, you will need some good drill bits. Don't attempt it without it. Right, so from my memory, the next ones, you do have to bend this as well, by the way. This will be in your way if not. So just literally just fold that straight back, and we will use an hammer and we'll hammer it all up nice and neat. But the next ones are these. Look, you have to get some little needle nose grips and just pop these out because we need to bolt through them holes. pull that out. Right, next ones. The next ones. Now this might differ from car to car, but from me just having an offer up, then it looked to me like it wanted to be in the second hole down like that. Now I am going to just leave all of these loose, and then I will tighten them up once it's on, because you still get to them. So yeah, so we've got a little bit of up and down adjustment, so I will leave that just loose for a second. Right, same on the next one. Into the outer holes. Same again, you do have like a little bit of movement, look up, down, left, right, so leave them loose. Right, now the next ones go down into these screw holes here. This is passenger side. You see you've got a long bit and a short bit. That one's long, that one's short. I'm pretty sure that the long one goes up. I'd probably watch this video all the way through before you start following me guide by guide, just to make sure that this is the way, but I'm pretty sure it went like that. So exactly the same on the other side, and we'll have a trial run. Yeah, just a case then of pushing it all back in, and we'll see how we line up. That one lines up.
That one doesn't know. That's be a bit higher.
Yeah, I do remember we had to do some trimming on Dan's. We might have to do some trimming on this one. See, we've got a bit of a gap under that bracket, and I do recall we had to do some trimming. But that one there, as you can see, lines up perfect to that hole. That one's already in there, I've already put the bolt in. That one, again, would line up. That one's not amazing, actually. It does line up, it would go in. Might want a bit of a bend on that bracket. Same with that one, does line up to the hole, but it wants to go higher. Right, let me figure out what we need to cut, and I shall show you what we need to cut. Right, rather than cutting it, we've done a different approach on this one. I do remember last time I did cut Dan's, but we're not going to cut this one. I'm going to show you why, because I don't know if you can see in there, a 13mm nut or an M8 nut is the perfect spacer without actually having to cut anything whatsoever. Still using the bolt what they sent, just drop a 13mm nut in there and that spaces it out. Saves you trimming your new diffuser to fit. Exactly the same the other side. Yeah, right, that's bolted in. They're all in and tight, as you can see. Now the last thing to do is you will have a handful of black screws that looks like them. Now what they're for is, as we said earlier in the video, when it doesn't actually click into the slots, you screw them through those. So what you do is you push. You're probably going to need another person for this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get Connor to push the diffuser in, and then I'm going to drill some holes in these, the ones I can see, like that one, that one. Probably going to go that one, that one, that one. And what you do is you just screw them screws in. What that does is it stops the diffuser being able to pop back out of those slits. So we'll just put as many as we can get in. Yeah, so like I say, you're probably going to need another man to help you do this part. One man to push it in, and one person to drill some pilot holes. So that's what we're going to do now.
And there you go, folks, that is how you install the Rieger Diffuser in English, just in case you can't read German on the instructions. Hopefully that helps someone one day. Now let's get cracking with the bike box delete. Now we need to make a Y-split to house these lovely tips. The first step is ideal if you've got a rotating head bandsaw. You want to perform a 45-degree mitre cut, and then you want 2 of those. You're going to want 2 45-degree bends. What that's going to do is kick us out 45 degrees, and then it's going to bring us back 45 degrees again, in other words 90 degrees with the bends. This will bring us back straight, and if you've done it correctly, it should look something like this. Now, depending on the application, you will need to get the measurements yourself to get the correct distance from the tip to the tip. Fortunately, I've slept a few times since making this to editing this video, so I can't actually remember the measurements, so you're on your own on that part, but that information alone will help you get the basics down. Before tacking it together, I recommend taping it a little bit like this, and having open and offer up. If it's too long, you can just trim a bit more off until it sits perfect. And luckily for me, mine sits perfect. I mean, you'd think I'd done this before. I really ought to do this for a living. Anyway, once you're satisfied, take it over to the welding bench and start tacking your pieces together. Tack everything parallel and it will all be perfect. And by parallel, I mean just lay it flat on the bench. You can't go wrong.
If you've done it right, it should look something along the lines of that. Now hopefully it makes sense to you. There's just a 90 degrees, so 45, 45 mitre cut, 45 degree bend, 45 degree brings it back parallel on that side. Very simple when you think about it. Now this is the easy way of doing it. There is a more complicated way of doing it, which probably share in another video. I think I did it on Dan's the more complicated way, to be honest, but same result, just a simpler way. And as we can see, that is looking pretty sweet. Now it is a little bit closer to the outside edges than what it is the inside edges at the moment, but done that on purpose. Those of you that weld stainless a lot will know when we weld this, this and this, the whole thing will shrink in slightly and it will probably fall pretty much perfect. I mean, even if it doesn't, it's still damn close and it's still damn cool at that, so she will do. Right, next thing to do, we're going to weld this up and then we're going to need to put the inlet into it, because at the moment it's just a fake R32 tip. We need to put the inlet into it, which is where we'll connect the exhaust system. So that bit is the complicated, well, not the complicated bit, that bit's the crucial bit, because if you get that skew width, you end up with one of these like that, one like that, that's when it all goes tits up and starts looking a mess. So everything's got to be bang right once you come down to that middle bit, but we'll get to that in a bit. So for now, we'll get this welded, get that cut, get the inlet on, and then we've actually got something to aim for.
My preferred method of doing this is just a simple angle grinder. It's very difficult to hold it in the bandsaw without it moving. Simple angle grinder will do the job just fine. The only advice I'll say is just make sure you draw around the end of a piece of pipe so you get a nice straight cut, otherwise it will make your life hell for the next bit. Once it's off, a little bit of fettling and you have yourself a nice inlet ready to go. Once that's done, weld it all up, you've got yourself an R32 split. Now it's a game of blankety blank, get it on the car, get some hangers on, and you have yourself a beautiful R32 style exhaust for your Scirocco. Now if you're not capable of doing this yourself, don't worry, you can still thank me later, send this to your local exhaust shop, tell them you want the same, you're welcome.
And that, folks, is how you install the Rieger diffuser and the exhaust system for your Volkswagen Scirocco. See you in the next one.